Hello friends, I'm SP and today I wanted to chat and yap about some of the books I've read recently, but I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I've been in a total reading slump. I don't want to start the video off negative, but I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the books that I have been reading recently have not been hitting the way that I want them to be, and I don't know if that's the book's fault. I think I've been trying to mood read lately and it's not working for me, unfortunately, and that's okay. I personally think reading is supposed to be for fun. I don't think that we are in competition with each other with how much we're reading or how little we're reading. I do believe that sometimes less is more, and I think that I've been taking that a little too seriously though. I read like 2 books in May, which is very unlike me. I've been really busy, so that's okay. But I'm here to normalize some slower reading, and I'm here to normalize reading slumps, and maybe it's not a reading slump. Maybe you don't have the time, maybe you're picking your phone up too much, which is what I'm doing, and it's something I'm working on. But let's just go ahead and talk about what I have read and kind of assess like what's been going on in my reading life. Let's start with the fact that I've started so many books and not finished them. I started Graceling, and this is young adult fantasy, not my typical genre. I'm having a fun time with it, but I ended up putting it down. I started Graceling, really liking it, but I just for some reason have not been motivated to read. I've been out of the habit of reading. So for whatever reason, I've put a pause on it. I have been in the middle of The Bee Sting by Paul Murray, loving it. It's gonna probably be a 5-star, but again, I just have not found the motivation to pick it up. And there are some others that I have started and just stopped, and I've decided I want to get out of this madness. Like, I really want to get back into the habit of reading consistently and finding the books that really work for me and not thinking too much about it. But I also want to push myself to be off my screen less and to be outside more and to pick up my book a little bit more than I have been. So let's go over the books that I completed. So we're gonna go over April and May because there's just not a lot going on in May. We have We Could Be Rats by Emily Austen, and let's see if I can even remember these books from April, and that I think really shows. I loved We Could Be Rats, let me preface that, but a lot of these books I'm sitting here going, oh, they just didn't, like, they weren't 5 stars, you know what I mean? Like, you know, a 5-star that just really sticks with you. I haven't had a 5-star in a little while, and I'm on the hunt for one. I want something to make me feel the way Never Let Me Go made me feel in January. Nothing's compared. I'm on the hunt, so if you know something that I might like, please recommend it to me. I read We Could Be Rats by Emily Austen. I read this on an audiobook. This is a story about 2 sisters, and I love a book about sisters. This book deals heavy with mental health, and check trigger warnings. That's all I'll say right there. You can check the trigger warnings and you'll see. But it basically starts off, it's like a letter for trigger warning, and you are reading this letter, you are reading the thoughts from this sister, and this book also is about childhood trauma, navigating that. Emily Austen also always writes really good mental health representation and being queer, and I really love Emily Austen's writing voice. It has a little bit of a like humor to it. It's like light, even though she deals with really heavy topics. My favorite is still Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead. I connected up with that one a little bit more than We Could Be Rats. We Could Be Rats is the one that I will want to reread one day, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't have too much to say on it if I'm being completely honest. I haven't done like a wrap up in a really long time, so I'm feeling a little rusty, so hang in there with me. But this is literary fiction. It is heavy, but again, told in a very light way. And I thought it was a very good book. I probably, though, will give this, like, unfortunately, probably like 3 stars because I really can't remember too much from it. So I wouldn't go out of my way to like wholeheartedly recommend this with my chest, but at the same time, I do think it's a very good book, and I think Emily Austen is a great author that a lot of people will probably connect with. And I think her writing is just really beautiful, and I did enjoy this book. I think that I was really busy, and it may not have stuck with me, and maybe if I read it physically it would have been different. But that was We Could Be Rats by Emily Austen. I really hate that I have not that much to say. But then we have Luster by Raven Leilani. This is a book about a young girl, and she finds herself involved with an open marriage. And although that is not something that I really align with, I still thought this was a very well written book, and I really loved it. I know some people recommend this if you're a fan of Sally Rooney. I can see where they're going with that, but I don't know, I wouldn't recommend it for that. But I did think this was a very good literary fiction book. If you like fic, I think you should pick this one up. You know, it talks about gender, class, race, which I think these are a lot of themes that Sally Rooney navigates, so I think that's why it is being recommended as that, and I can see that. I really enjoyed Luster. I also finished this on audiobook, and yeah, I thought it was a very quick, fast read. Not necessarily easy, but it's definitely a book that is fairly short. It's like 200 something pages. So if you're wanting something to help get out of a slump, I think this would be a really great one to pick up. I gave this a 4-star, but like I didn't really have like anything interesting to say about it, other than I enjoyed it. It's just something about the story didn't like fully connect with me the same as We Could Be Rats. Like it just didn't like stick with me, if you know what I mean. It wasn't, again, that 5-star connection. So it was all right. I really liked it, and I thought it was a very good book. Then we have The Pachinko Parlor by Elisa Shu. I am going to mess up this author's name. Eliza Shua Despin. I'm not sure. I believe that she is a French author, and this book is translated from the French. This is following a young girl. She is tutoring an even younger girl for the summer. And this is a book that just really explores family and relationships and lots of themes that I typically am interested in books. And unfortunately, this is another book that did not resonate completely with me. Something about it, I didn't click. Well, let me say, I loved the writing. I loved the mundaneness. I loved how the author would describe very mundane tasks and things that the people were doing, and it just felt like you were really there, and it was just so like simple, but at the same time just beautifully written, and I wanted it to explore a little bit more, if I'm being honest. But at the same time, I felt like the book did what it was going out to do. It doesn't help when I read these books in like April, like over a month ago, and now I'm like not remembering what I read. I feel like this is a book that when I was in the writing, I really enjoyed it, but then when I was taken out of the writing, I was just completely out of the book and disconnected, which is not something I want to feel when I'm reading. Again, I think it's a good book, but it didn't completely blow me away. And I really preferred Winter in Sokjo by the same author. I thought that one was better in my personal opinion, and I personally really enjoyed that one much more. Her books are very slow and quiet and mundane and tender and a little somber, but they're very good. I do love a quiet novel, and these books are very short, easy to read, and I recommend if that's something you're looking for. But if you don't like that, if you don't like the slow pacedness of a book, I don't recommend these to you. Then we have Colored Television. I really liked this one. Out of all the books, this is probably on the higher up of my favorites. This book was fun. Okay, if you really liked Miranda July's All Fours, I recommend this book to you. Definitely recommend this. Actually, this book might have been one of my favorites of the past 2 months. This book is following a mother. She is married. She is a writer, and she's having a hard time finishing her book. She, is navigating motherhood, and she does some things that you are not going to agree with. This book is a lot about race and class and status and wealth. It's also about success and making it in Hollywood, or just making it in any general sense with success. Because the book is not going so well, she ends up finding herself in the film world, and I thought it was very interesting. I really liked this, and I thought it had a lot to say about race and class, and yeah, I really, really liked this book. It was a easy read. Like, while I was reading it, I was really in it, and I just could not put it down, and I could not stop flipping the pages. And that is a good thing. That's a good thing when you're reading, and obviously. And the way that I'm feeling talking about this book, it makes me realize that if I'm forgetting how I felt when I read a book, that just must mean that maybe it wasn't the book for me. But color television, I really did enjoy, and I highly recommend, especially if you like Miranda July. Very different, but same unhinged main character doing things that you're like, girl, what are you doing? But at the same time, you can't look away. This was one of those. And I think more people should pick this up, because I do not see anybody talking about this book, and I thought it was very well done. And yeah, I really, really liked it. Okay. Another audio. I did a lot of audio in the past 2 months because I cannot finish a book to save my life, like a physical book. But now we have The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Okay. This one was so good. I love this. This was nonfiction. She plays Emily Gilmore in Gilmore Girls, the Emily Gilmore. This was very interesting. If you're a big fan of Gilmore Girls, if you're a big fan of Broadway and performance, I think this is a great one for you. She also was in movies like Dirty Dancing, and it basically just takes you through how she got to where she is, and it's emotional, and I thought it was bittersweet when it went on to the Gilmore Girls stuff, because I love Gilmore Girls, and I just thought it was really interesting and cool hearing her story, how she got into Gilmore Girls. Yeah, I had a really fun time with this. I highly recommend the audiobook because she narrates it herself, so it kind of feels like you're talking to a friend. This one was really good. Yeah, The Third Gilmore Girl by Kelly Bishop. Very fun, very good, and I loved it. So, okay, next, this is when my reading slump really kicked in. We have Orbital by Samantha Harvey. This took me forever, way too long to read. I liked it. I didn't 5 stars love it, okay? It was like really good, but it was also missing something. And I don't recommend this book. I do not recommend this book to everybody. If you like a slow literary fiction that literally nothing's happening, it's about space. It's about these 6 astronauts they go into space, and they are living in space. I think this doesn't take place across a very long time. I think it's like a day or 2, and they're orbiting Earth, and it feels like a love letter to Earth. Like, somebody blurbed the book and said that, and I fully agree. It does feel like a love letter to Earth if you love nature and the environment. I think this book can be for you if you love beautiful writing that is just very slow and there's not a lot of plot. Very character driven, because you're kind of learning about all these different people from all different countries as they come together inside this spaceship. But like, it's not going to be a very loud story. It's a very quiet story, and not even really a story, just snippets of their time in space and talking about just the everyday tasks and things that they are doing in space, like how they are in their sleeping bags and how they are floating in the air because gravity and the food they're eating, and they're talking about their like home lives back at home and all of their different struggles and personal lives back on Earth. Also, the environmental impacts and things that are going on Earth that they are viewing from space. And it's just very cool because I feel like you can look at space and Earth in a different way than I have ever looked or thought about Earth. And I gave this book a 4.5 stars. It's not like an all-time favorite, but it's a book that I will revisit and read again. And I think that it's a book that the more that I read, the more I will get something out of it. And Samantha Harvey can really write some beautiful, beautiful writing, and I liked it. I really, really liked this one. And again, I don't recommend this broadly, but if that sounds like something, I think this won the Booker Prize last year. So if this sounds like something that you could be interested in, I think it would be good, but I don't think that I would recommend this to just any person wanting a book rec. But I thought it was beautiful. Okay, lastly, a book that I finished. Feels kind of crazy to say this is the last book I finished. I feel like I'm missing something. But I finished YN by Esther Yi. Okay, I did love this one. This is a book about fandoms and K-pop and fan culture and parasocial relationships and love and obsession, and I recommend this book. If you like weird, if you liked Paradise Rot by Jenny Hval because of its weirdness and you're not really sure where the story is going type of vibe, then I recommend this to you. This book is a trip, I can't lie. This book was wild. I did the audio for this one as well, and it was fun, and it's a book that I would like to reread physically. It's another short one following our main girl who has never had an interest in this K-pop group, right? She gets an invite to go to their show because her friend needs someone to go with her, and then all of a sudden, once she's there and at the show, you watch this character just fall into an unnatural obsession with this boy from this K-pop group named Moon. She's obsessed with Moon. She stalks Moon on all of his live streams. She believes that she has a relationship with Moon, like delusion at its finest. And Moon disappears from the group, disappears from the media, and he quits. And our main character just cannot fathom that, and she takes things far. And this is a book about love and obsession, the author has said, but I definitely think that there's a lot here about parasocial relationships and how we think we know people online and in, you know, famous people. And it really shows how much you really don't know people. And this book just unfolds into chaos and madness, and you really don't know what the author or our main character is going to do next. And in that way, it is wild, but it's a ride. And I think that if you don't like that kind of like storytelling that's just a little bit unconventional, I would say. Like, it's definitely a book that you're just kind of like, what? The whole time, you know? But I like that. I also kind of got the vibe of the TV show, was it Hive? That show is about a girl that becomes is like a big fan of this pop star and how far she takes it. And it kind of reminded me a little bit about that with the parasocial relationships and obsession. YN, it's called YN because she actually starts writing fan fiction. She takes her obsession to levels. And although this was not a 5-star, it was probably like a 4-star. I really, really enjoyed my time with this book. I thought it was fun, and I thought it was really interesting and relevant to today, and I think a lot of people could connect with this in a weird way, especially if you have been a part of fan culture and even fan fiction. I never read fan fiction, but I know a lot of people did, so I feel like you could definitely connect with that in that way. And I recommend this to you if you were like ever a big One Direction or K-pop fan. I think that you could have fun with this if you just like kind of let go of your expectations of it and just take it, just go wherever the story takes you, because it's definitely wild. But I really, really liked it, and I liked Esther Yi's storytelling in this, and I would recommend it to a specific audience probably. But those are all the books that I read in April and May. I am currently in the middle of The Friend by Sigrid Nunez, and this book is definitely just feeling just what I needed right now. It's been a good companion to be reading over the past few days, and I'm hoping to start formulating some TBRs for myself because I have been so busy in my personal life that, if I'm being honest, the mood reading is just not working for me. I don't know what my mood is. I'm all over the place, and I cannot stick with any one book. And I'm picking up books that are just not set out to be perfect books for me. Does that make any sense? Like, there's so many books. Also, I read like nothing from my shelf over the past 2 months. What's that about? I've been doing a lot of audiobooks, which is fine, but I really, really need to read more of my physical TBR, and I've just been failing with that. So my goal is to read maybe less library books, more of my physical books, and also books that I think I'm gonna give 5 stars or that are on my 2025 through 2025 TBR, because I've been just like throwing that out the window lately. It's fine, but I started off my year really strong, and then I read Severance by Ling Ma, and then it's been downhill ever since. I DNF'd that book, and ever since then I've just been kind of like meh about all the books I'm reading. They're not bad, well, they're not all bad, but like, they're not me books, you know? They're not SP books. And I'm really having high hopes for The Friend, and I'm hoping that from now on this channel, I will be talking about books that I love. That is the goal to move forward with. And I did love some of these, but I'm hoping to find some more 5 stars. So I'll take you on the journey with me as I fall back in love with reading, pick up and fix up my reading habits because they've been a little bit all over the place lately. I'm gonna start turning off my phone a little bit more, unplugging a little bit more, and opening up my pages a little bit more. Yeah, I will check back in when I have finished some more books, and I think I have some fun stuff coming soon, so I'm hoping to be around here a little bit more. But thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great week, and I'll chat soon. Happy reading!